In today's video, we will be replacing an old friend of mine, which is these here solderless crimper connectors, connector crimper things. Those words were so hard. Yeah, this particular set I've had at least 20 years. They've been sitting in my toolbox. I remember when I bought them, I was tired of using the old stamped sheet metal ones that kind of never work good enough, but sort of do, and you kind of get by with them. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I'm going to buy the nice one. And I think I paid back in the day, the number $30 kind of stands out to me, which, I mean, in early 2000s money, accounting for inflation, that's probably like $300 in today's money. Close, but a little bit of an exaggeration there. But yeah, these guys, I've had these for forever, and they've always worked good for me. Recently, I've been having, not recently, but longer than I'd like to admit, I've been having a problem with these guys as far as getting that last bit of crimp on them. You really got to give it to it to get that last little bite. You accentuate that when you actually have a connector inside the thing, and I've tried doing the old adjuster down here, didn't really change anything whatsoever. I've tried shooting a little bit of lubricant inside the mechanism, and I just think it's to the point where they're just worn out. And I've used these probably thousands of times with connectors, and yeah, I mean, tools just wear out. Even good tools wear out if you use them enough. And yeah, and I mean, it's to the point now. I mean, my misspent youth as a skateboarder. A lot of you guys noticed I wear skateboarders. I still skateboard. I have an electric skateboarder, but I spent probably a good 10 years in the mid 80s into the mid 90s tooling a skateboard around, and I took a lot of falls and your wrists and your shoulders and everything, and it's just to the point now where if I got to do a dozen crimps with this thing, this hand is feeling every little bit of it. So I needed to upgrade at least to make it a little easier on the old grips. But yeah, so which led me to this particular company right here, which is Wirefy, Fry. You figure it out. Yeah, I looked at them. They got really good reviews. They've sold a whole bunch of them. And yeah, so when I first looked at them, I was just going to get the standard crimpers, and then I saw that they had detachable heads on them, and I was like, oh, you know what, let me look at the other detachable heads. I used a couple of those, and then I saw there was I think it was a 5-piece set with a whole bunch of different detachable or replaceable crimping jaws on it. And I was like, you know what, that five-piece one is missing one that I would actually really like to use. So then I looked at the 11-piece one. It just, I think that's how marketing works. And yeah, I mean, if I'm being 100% transparent here, I'm just buying this to throw in the toolbox and I'm not making a video. I would have gotten the single one with a couple of different heads to slip into the thing and call it a day. But I mean, we're making a video here, and we could, might as well look at all the different heads on the thing. Why not? And yeah, so I say what we do is we'll flip the camera down, take a look at that one, and maybe crimp some wires, give it a shot, see what happens. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not even familiar with that brand. From what I could see on their store, they pretty much specialize in crimping style tools and connectors. So they kind of seem like they know what they're doing. Just briefly touching them out of the box, they seem like they're in pretty good shape as far as what I need them to do. So yeah, let's get into it. So before we get too deep into the new ones, we'll take a good look at the old ones. Just a good up close look at them. You can see the road mechanic rust all over them. It's one of the problems with not working in a shop all the time. You get your tools get a little bit rusty because they're out in the elements sometimes. And yeah, I don't see a brand name on these things, but that last little bit right there really hurts, especially after the 20th one. But yeah, like I said, they were good enough for the time. And yeah, I got these guys, which would do what these couldn't do, non-insulated, good for non-insulated connectors, and the heat shrink style connectors. They were pretty good for. The cutters are actually good. These were actually nice. I can't remember who or what I bought these off of. There's no branding on them. It says FU right there. Well, FU too, pal. But yeah, I mean, these have held up pretty good over the years, and I'm still going to keep these. These are actually really good for pulling cotter pins. You put the cotter pin right here on the non-insulated side. You crimp down on it, and you can rip it. I'm sure that's not the intended use of them, but it sure as heck does a good job. But yeah, let's get these out of the way. We'll look at the new thing. Well, let's take a quick look at the packaging. Some people care about that. That's basically the kit right there. It does come with a lifetime warranty, lifetime guarantee. All right, and that's the actual product number up there. Flipping it over, it just tells you the different dies and what they are for. This particular one is made in Taiwan with the glare and all, and ISO certified. I'm not 100% sure what that ISO certification is. It might be an electrical thing. I've never had to look at that before. It's probably something I should know. But yeah, that's the packaging right there. Let's pull the sleeve off. All right, we zoomed up a little bit to kind of get everything in the picture here. This is the blow mold case right here. Not much going on to it. It's got the nice latches, which I appreciate compared to the ones that are just molded in there that after the 20th time you use them, they just snap off. Opening it up. Yeah, we got it all in frame there. Did pretty good. We get the instructions, which I normally throw away, but I'm actually going to need them because these are labeled as far as what they are and what they are for. I will say, I don't know if I mentioned it in the beginning of the video, when I was looking at these, it turns out that I've been doing it wrong for a fairly long time. Yeah, I've been using the wrong crimpers for the wrong stuff. I mean, I've never had one pull off. Well, I've had some pull off and then have to recrimp them, but I've never had one pull off after I installed it because, like I said, I always check it. But maybe that's why occasionally I have one yank off. But yeah, that's pretty much it. What you got as far as inside the case. It's a very, very large case. Lots of options, I'm guessing. Over here, you get these little empty containers. I'm assuming that'd probably be a pretty good place to put your connectors in to keep them all in one place. We have an extra set of heads over here. Crimper heads, we'll look into that later. Then we got a set of strippers, which looking at these, let me grab them real quick. They are very similar to these Icon Made in America strippers. As we said, this kit's made in Taiwan. But if you look at the little lock on that, this guy right here and this guy right here, it's almost identical. It's got an identical feel to it. These particular ones that Icon sells, the Made in America ones, these are made by Southwire, I believe is the name of the company, which is an American company. It says Made in USA right there. And yeah, I found out that these are actually really good for AC electricians and not so much low voltage guys like myself, but whatever. But yeah, I kind of thought that was a little odd that those would be almost exactly the same. Now, in the other pouches or pockets, you get the different size crimpers that we'll be looking at in a couple of minutes, and then you got the actual tool itself. We'll zoom down and take a look at that. We don't need to be watching that from orbit. And yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll just we'll get a feel for them on camera. I'll try the different ones, the ones I actually have connectors for, and we'll give them a try. And then after all that's said and done, I'll keep the camera rolling and I'll try the different sizes on my own to see if there's any surprises involved. I mean, this will be like an hour-long video if I tried every crimper with every size. So we'll kind of try to keep it as short as possible. But yeah, let's zoom down, get this stuff out of the package here, and take a good look at it and crimp some wires on. All right, so these are the actual crimpers out of the package there. And full disclosure, I've been doing it wrong for the longest time. I assumed that there was probably maybe 3 or 4 different type of crimpers for those solderless connectors. And according to the chart that, yeah, I've been doing it wrong for a while. I mean, I've never had a problem. I've crimped a couple, pull them, and they pull apart, and then I go back and crimp a little bit harder. But yeah, and the ones that came on it are the actual ones for heat shrink butt connectors. So there's that. Nice action on them as far as the handle goes. Gives you a little bit extra grip on the handles. Let's get the other ones up here. There they are. I almost lost them. So I mean, you're definitely a size difference as far as all that action goes. You're going to get yourself another inch of leverage on the end here for those really tight ones. Kind of pull your hand all the way back here and give them a home for, up here for the little ones. And the actual head that comes on the thing, or crimper sets that come on the thing, is the A1. The A1 are for heat shrink insulated butt connectors. Again, I would always just use the regular ones for that instance. These come in the red, blue, yellow, and big red. For those of you who don't know, red is 22 to 18, blue is 16 to 14, yellow is 12 to 10, and the big red is for the 8. Again, a nice feeling action going on. It's got the lever release for that time when you accidentally crimp it on the wrong color and it gets stuck. But yeah, I mean, as far as the whole in-the-hand feel, they feel like they're decent enough. A bunch of E-clips on the back. I bet you that'd be nice for taking it apart and shooting a little bit of oil in it. And hopefully I never have to do that. And then you got the quick change head things going on here. You got yourself a little detent in there, which holds everything together. Good enough where it's not flopping out. So, yeah, why don't you say, we already got the A1s in there. Let's try to crimp a heat shrink insulated butt connector on. All right, I got some 14 gauge wire here, which we're going to be using that a lot. Let's kind of adjust the old Knipex strippers right there. Let's get some bare wire coming out there. And we got our blue heat shrink insulated butt connector. And we're going to go into the blue crimp right here. And yeah, that was actually very easy. And it didn't crush the heat shrink. And the ultimate test, yeah, that's pretty good. What do you say we try some 10 gauge, which is always a challenge with any of these crimpers. All right, 10 gauge wire, butt connector, goes inside there. And if you look at the jaws, it kind of gives you a little bit of an opening on the side. I guess that's to keep from crushing the heat shrink insulation here. Put it on the crimp. Oh yes, that is very nice and very easy. Now I do not have the 8 gauge butt connectors, so we won't be testing those. All right, we just loaded in the A style head guy right there, and this one in particular is for your standard connectors that we have all seen 100 times. It's got a little bit of weird profile going on there. I'm not 100% sure what the story is with that, but maybe it's better than what I'm used to. And I'm pretty sure these would go in not unlike that right there. So the crimp is on the small end. The wire goes into there. Again, I'm guessing. Gonna plug her in. Give her a crimp. And yeah, I mean, I didn't do a very good job, but it's on there, so can't argue with the results of that. And while we got that head on there, let's try a small non-heat shrink butt connector. Again, I think we're supposed to do it. I think I got these upside down. Yeah, I think I'm probably make it easier if I did it that way. Yeah, small style butt connector. I believe we are going in like that. And then we put the, I guess, 14 gauge wire in there. Give her a crimp. And yeah, it's holding tight. All right, let's move on to the A2 head. These particular ones, again, full transparency. I didn't know there was a special crimper for them, but apparently there is. And again, these ones got pretty much, the jaws are the same all the way across the board. Do I have these stripped? No, I don't. Let's do that real quick. All right, got it stripped. Do the old insertion here. Give her a crimp. Not too bad at all. I'm liking them so far. All right, moving on to the A3 head, which is for this here style connector, they're calling them miniature insulated connectors. Again, would have just used my regular ones on those, but apparently they're different for some odd reason. And this particular one, it goes yellow, red, blue. So maybe it was for clearance reasons or something of that nature. Well, we'll jab her in there, give her a crimp. It's kind of hard to do this on camera, but yeah, not bad. A little over crimped, I would say, but effective nonetheless. All right, now we're going to move on to A4 and A6, and these particular ones are for these here flag style connectors. And these particular connectors, I've never actually had much success doing them without, you know, just putting a set of pliers on them and crimping them down, because they don't work in the regular connectors. And these are mostly used for, like, you got tight clearances, you know what I mean? Ain't much room for a wire to be coming out the top, so you just kind of kick it out the side. But yeah, again, I didn't know there was a specialty tool for that. Let me grab that piece I just dropped. I'll find it later. So looking at this, not 100% sure how this is supposed to work. Maybe, oh, I'm guessing that's the way it's supposed to work. Kind of sits in there like that, I'm guessing. Well, I'm not even really close to being centered on frame. Well, we'll give it a try. And how do we say that was going? Kind of like, yeah. Kind of sitting in there like that. Okay. Let's get it a starter crimp going on there. Wow. In my 30 plus years of being a mechanic, that's probably the first time I ever crimped one of those right. Not too bad. Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. The A6 size is just for the yellow ones. I'm assuming because of the extra real estate that these things take up to crimp, you just needed 2 of them. So you got the yellow, the blue, and the red. And now we got the A5 head going on here, and this is for standard insulated connectors. We've all seen them. Kind of like this. They actually give you a little cutout inside there, so you don't crush the heat shrink on the back of them. Let's put that in there. Put that down there like that. Insert the wire. Give her a pinch. And yeah, it's on there. And last but not least, well, last as far as connectors that I have to demonstrate here, we have just regular old non-insulated connectors. And again, I put that on upside down or backwards. It really doesn't matter. Just for video purposes, it matters. And we got ourselves a little eyelet here. It would be the blue if it actually had insulation on it. And we're going to kind of stick it in there. Kind of hold everything in place. Drop the wire on the floor. And insert the wire. Give her a crimpy crimp. Yeah, I mean, that's a good connection. At least as good as it needs to be. Not too bad at all. And the last one I don't have connectors for, mostly because I wouldn't use this tool for that. I got a nice hydraulic one that I use, and that is just B1, which is for your higher gauge or larger connectors. Your eyelets that you would, if you were putting an accessory on something with a eyelet, you know, we're talking 4 or 6 gauge, I'm guessing. It's in metric, but yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be using this for this. I got a hydraulic one, but yeah. And the one thing that wasn't included in this kit would be these here double crimp style connectors, where you have down here you get the wire crimp and then you have the insulation crimp. They do offer it. I might pick it up just to have it, and if I do buy it any time in the future, I'll put it down in the description what I think about it. Normally, with my experience, these actually don't the ones that are for this purpose, I think they sell like really expensive ones just for these that work, but I've rarely found ones that'll actually put a good crimp on these. So yeah, keep that in mind. But little oversight on mine. I probably should have picked it up just to give them a test. They're only like $15 for that set of heads. But yeah, that's about it for this. I'm going to continue to play with these with the different sizes. I'll be rolling footage as I'm doing it. If I run into any problems or any surprises, we'll go back. It will be a nice little hard edit after I'm done yapping here. But if not, we'll go to the closing of the video. But yeah, we'll do that for a little bit, and then we'll close this guy out. Well, there we go. That was off, well, on camera, but off what you're going to see. I tried the different sizes and whatnot, and there are no surprises. It performed as well as you could expect for the ones that we've already shown here. Yeah, this video is going to be heck. It's one of those videos where the time can get out of control on you. I don't want to make a 45-minute video and be just crimping wires, so there's going to be a lot of hard choppy edits going on in there, fellas. But I'll try to make it as short as possible and still get my point across. If I had to say there was one disappointment in the batch, would be what they call the miniature insulated connectors, which is this guy right here. I feel like it's been over crimped slightly. Not a deal breaker, but again, it was slightly over crimped. Flag connector, like I said, first time I've ever crimped one of those right in my entire career, and it did a banger job in it. Heat shrink, again, great, and just the old standard, guys, it did great again. So yeah, I can't see how you do wrong with this particular kit. $130, give or take a couple of bucks. Little spendy. I mean, I don't mind it. It's doing what it needs to do, and it taught me a few things about these crimp-on style connectors. So there's that. What I'll link down in the description, a couple different options for you guys. You know how Amazon works. You click on the thing, and then you scroll down a little bit, and then you have the little scrolly thing in the bottom, and you'll be able to kind of shop through as to what you want. Again, I might pick up the double crimp for these little teeny tiny pin style connectors maybe in the future, some point in time. We'll see what happens, but yeah, all in all, it seems like a decent enough product. I can't complain about it. Yeah, that's about it. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the old comment section. I'll do my best to get back to you. I'd like to thank you for watching. There you go.